My name is Omnia Amin, and I'm a professor in modern and contemporary British literature. And I work a lot with comparative studies, comparative literature. I worked full-time before coming to NYU at Zayed University in Dubai. And I've basically been interested in comparative literature because it offers broader perspectives on many important and contemporary gender, cultural, social issues in today's world. I was teaching world fiction in Jordan some years back, and I asked students, who are your favorite Jordanian writers? And they started giving me Arab writers who are not from Jordan. And I said, but yes, they are Arab writers, but they're not Jordanian. And this made me realize that with students, you really have to ask them who they like here and why they like them. And if they haven't read them, they have to dig them out and compare them to the other world masterpieces and works. So this is where it started from. I'm currently working on a book about Emirati theatre, and it traces the gender, socio-cultural issues since the foundation of the UAE and even before, as reflected in plays in their theatre. And I chose this again because I asked my students while we were doing world drama, who are the playwrights that you favor? And they mentioned a name or two, but after that they got stuck. So we started this, I devoted 1/3 of my course to Emirati playwrights. And they were surprised that it is quite rich. It's quite a rich culture. Theater was used as an educational tool here in the 1960s, 1970s, and it had a profound impact on its audience. I noticed one thing: Emirati locals are theater goers. So they really do go and watch their own plays, but no one gets to hear about it because it's in the Emirati dialect. So, for example, even if you speak Arabic, you wouldn't go because you'd find it difficult at times, unless the play is performed in classical Arabic. Or the more colloquial, like Egyptian kind of Arabic, so that it's more accessible to a larger audience. So that's the number one. That's why not a lot of people, even Arabs, have hardly heard of them. And the second thing is there are lots of activities pertaining to theatre. So every emirate has its own activity and festivals, especially Sharjah, monodrama in Fujairah, a lot is happening in Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, some of the best playwrights come from Ras Al Khaimah. They really come from all over. Hardly any works have been translated into English. So you don't really get to know about them if you're a non-Arab. Like if you're an Arab, yes, you can go to the library, find the books, read them, kind of educate yourself. But if you're English speaker, no way. There aren't any references, and this is what I'm facing. I'm not facing lack of material. There is an abundance of material in Arabic, but I'm facing anything that is actually written in Arabic, apart from few people who did their MA thesis or PhD, like Habib Lghloum, Dr. Habib Lghloum. Other than that, no, hardly any scholarly work. One of the things that I'm really proud of is a lot of the faculty came and said they're interested in what I'm doing, and they can't wait for the book to be published, to read about it, because they hardly know anything about Emirati theatre. And I told them it's not just the plays that are great, it's the story of how theatre came into being itself is wonderful. So especially that a lot of the sheikhs write, like Sheikh Sultan, Sheikh Muhammad Al-Qasmi in Sharjah, and others are interested in writing for the theatre or even writing poetry. So they came and they approached me. It's an extremely friendly environment. They wanted in more than one way to maybe take some of these plays and present them here in English, do miniatures of Emirati plays, involve students, and find out for themselves about Emirati theatre. I always had this book in mind for a number of years now. For a good 6 years, I've just been dreaming that I would have a whole year off for a couple of years, and I just devoted to digging more into reading about theatre itself, exposing myself to what's happening locally here, and attending some plays. And as I said, this fellowship program came as a godsend. When I was chosen, I was like elated for days, and really looking forward to it. So I can't thank you enough. I believe my book will grab the attention of scholars. It will also grab the attention of the ordinary common reader who would like to know something about Emirati plays. And I'm hoping that this is just a first step. It would open the doors to more, because it is a rich, they've got something to say. It's not just something that you'd say, oh, it's interesting, and it's interesting for now, but then it's going to die. No, I believe that it's going to continue, and it's just evolving.